out the American empire. And so maybe that's good. I mean, personally, I'm not that big a fan of the American empire myself. I think we'd be better off with a republic anyway. So I see it as moving in that direction. But, I want to go back to something you said earlier about Libya. You're absolutely right. Everything you said about Gaddafi, and we know from Hillary Clinton's WikiLeaks emails with Sid Blumenthal that it was that currency issue. That was the gold dinar and silver dirham, the African currency, an Islamic currency. That was the reason that they decided to take him out. In those emails, they were very clear that this is a threat to euro currency domination. And so that was not only a horrific crime against humanity and against the people of Africa and of North Africa, but also it was a crime against Islam, because the gold dinar and silver dirham project is right at the heart of Islamic economics, which begins with opposition to riba, or usury. And we Muslims are the people who have not forgotten that God has made usury forbidden, absolutely forbidden. And yet we're living in this modern world that runs on usury. All of our currency is created by being lent into existence at interest, backed by nothing. Has to be paid back to the same private banking cartel that created it in the first place. That is the Rothschilds and their friends. So those usurers, who are the most powerful force in the world, are terrified of Islam and Muslims. That's one reason that Iran is such a threat. It's not really a threat to America as a country. The United States could easily befriend the Islamic Republic of Iran and work something out and say, hey, we'll trade with you. We'll make sure that the Russians don't invade you. We'll make sure the Turks don't invade you. You guys do what you want. You can be Islamic if you want to. Fine, let's be friends. That would be in the American interest, really. But because of the Israelis, who are at all-out war with Iran, and because of this usury cartel, which is, of course, related to the state of Israel, that means that the U.S. has to be dragged into this war between usury and Islam. And so I think Muslims in particular really need to get out in front here and communicate to the world better why usury is wrong, why it's bad. It's not just morally bad, but it's bad for economies. And why, when countries have gotten rid of private usury and adopted a more national currency, like Hitler did. Hitler may have done a lot of terrible things, but one relatively not so bad thing he did was to improve the currency situation a bit by issuing some national currency, not just borrowing from Rothschild bankers. And the Chinese have done something like that too. They have an 80% public currency creation system. And so as Muslims, we should be saying, we should be in front here. We should be fixing this. We should be getting rid of usury. We should be coming up with alternatives. Well, that's why they had to make an example of Muammar Gaddafi. That's why they raped him and murdered him in such a horrible way. They were like crucifying him, basically, making an example of him, saying this is what's going to happen to you if you challenge us right where it matters the most to us. And as Muslims, we need to say, sorry, we're not going to be intimidated. We're going to stand up for the truth and justice, and we're going to be at war with usury. That's the Prophet and Allah are at war, eternal war with the usurers. That's right there in the Quran. And if you're not doing that, if you're not waging that war, I don't know how you can call yourself a Muslim.
Now, let's